Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hope all is good. I'm Auntie Kim. Hey, Jamal, how are you?
How are you? I'm
I'm
good. How are you?
good. You seem a little low, but let me make sure I got
Hmm.
my earphones in. We got one person already here with us. Thank you for coming in. We'll give everybody just a few minutes to come on in and then we'll do our housekeeping and all that good stuff. Appreciate those who may be in and coming in and all that good thing. As I try to untangle my headphones here. We have two people with us. Okay, welcome everyone. Hope all is well. It's Saturday night. I think we're down to our fifth or sixth podcast, and so we are happy to see you here with us. We have a lot of good stuff we kind of want to cover this evening. Our main topic is going to be on etiquette, so that's going to probably get real juicy because
Absolutely.
we have varying opinions on all that good stuff. So let me do some
Oh,
housekeeping.
yes.
First of all, if you are or were to hear any music in the background, we do not own the rights to that music. If we did, we would be sitting pretty and possibly doing something else, or still maybe doing this on a full time basis. The views that are expressed during our podcast are our own, and so you may or may not like them, respect them, agree or appreciate, but don't come for us because, as I tell you every week, you're going to be real mad and your feelings going to be hurt, and there's nothing that we can do about that. But we are always happy to have your support. I think this is about the sixth podcast in. And so we thank everyone who's out there with us. Again, if you are joining us for the first time or you're listening in, if you would take the opportunity to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's Get the Belt 23. We would appreciate that. We also have social media. We have a Facebook page, which is Get the Belt on Facebook, and we ask that you go out there and like that. And then we also have an
Absolutely.
Instagram page, and that's also Get the Belt. And you can always contact us via email at getthebelt23 at gmail.com. So you can do that. And I'm still looking and waiting for some new belts. So if you get the opportunity, then you're a designer or you have a special belt that you would like to see me wear during the podcast, please feel free to send that to us. And that's P.O. Box 490, Powder Springs, Georgia 30127. I think I have covered a little bit of everyone, and I see some folks already there. I see Miss Rami. I believe that must be Dennis is already joined us. So we appreciate that. So,
Appreciate y'all.
yep, big time we do. Thank you for the support. It means a great deal to us. We appreciate those who have already subscribed. We have a goal we were
Yes.
hoping to hit by the end of this year, and so anything that you can do to get us there, we would appreciate. So let's talk about some stories that are in the news. We have three different topics we want to talk about this evening. So the first one that kind of grabbed at me this week was on August the 10th in Santobia, Mississippi. A 10-year-old boy was arrested for peeing behind his mother's car. The police officer drove up, saw him out there, handcuffed him, arrested him, and took him to the police station. That particular police officer has now lost his job. The chief of police apologized and did say that he felt that it was a bit extreme and that um, the officer lacked good judgment. The officer felt that the little fella, and was conducting himself. Had he been an adult, he says that it would have been improper behavior. And I'm not agreeing that the child should or should not, but he was 10 years old and he looked like a 10-year-old, 10 little year old chubby little boy. And so he thought that he needed to have some guidance or training because he was there. Oddly enough, his mother was inside her attorney's office. They didn't say for what, nor does that matter. And so, again, another case of had you just asked the child what they were doing there, and if a parent was nearby and given him that opportunity, his mother could have come out and rectified this situation and addressed it there without her son being arrested. Santobia, Mississippi is about 30 minutes south of Memphis, Tennessee. Small little town city population is 7,000. The county is 27,000 people. So it's a small little place. As I was doing some of the research and popped up, there is a gentleman who practically wants that police force shut down because he just feels that they're just out of hand. And this is a prime example when you arrest a 10-year-old for peeing outside a car. Women don't have that luxury, but it's a kid, little boy. Not the first time this is going to happen, and probably not the last. But to the extreme that once again you're not exercising good judgment in your position is a bit much for me. Mom said later on in a interview later on that week is that she and this little boy went to her oldest son's baseball game, and police happened to come up for no reason. They drove through the baseball field, and went into a panic simply seeing them, and I can imagine so a bit much. But anyway, that's one of our stories. Your comments on that one, Jamal? What you thinking?
My man just had to go, man. 10 years old. Hey, man, sometimes you just rather just go where you got to go, man. He was probably holding it, probably playing, and in his phone or whatever. Uh, my man got a little too excited, looked around, bathroom wasn't around. Hey, man, this ain't his first time peeing behind the car. So my man had to pee behind the car.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you locked my man up though?
Yeah,
Yikes.
handcuffed him, took him. He got arrested
At 10? Like,
at 10.
you really
Yeah,
wasting paper at 10 on it? Come
yeah.
on, G.
And now you have
That's
lost
wild.
your job. But as we've said before, he'll probably end up at
Congratulations, you played
another.
yourself.
Yeah, he'll probably end up at another police district somewhere with a new job because of that. But yes, that happened. And we hope that,
Wow.
that baby's not scarred for life. So it was interesting. So specifically, I just kind of want to read some of the comments were, it was, so the police officer, he said acknowledged it was a mistake. And his name is, I think, Quintavious Easton, because they actually took
What
him
was
to
his name?
jail.
What's his name?
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Quantavious. Is that pronounced Quintavious? Okay, Quintavious Eason, Eason. 10 years old, little tyke. Yes. But as far as I'm concerned, his name could have been Billy Bob. The fact that you arrested a 10-year-old for urinating outside behind his mother's car, because at least he went behind the car and not is a bit much for me. Right? That's my
That's
thought there.
wild.
Hey Marcus, how are you? So
My
that's
God.
kind of where, yeah, it's a bit much. And again, um, just a matter of exercise, and just to me, what is just common sense?
Right. Like,
Common
it's that serious?
sense.
Like, we
Common
really
sense.
about to waste time on this situation? Like, I'm not about to waste the taxpayers' money
Well, he did
on this.
because yeah,
Right. Like,
and now the little town of Santobia, Mississippi, is all on the news, and yet another police chief having to apologize. So that that in itself is, yeah. So you lost your job because I have to now make this public apology for
public
yeah,
apology over a 10-year-old
over a
having to
10 year.
pee. You could have
Yeah.
easily turned your head at, like, okay,
Well,
you know,
you, as I
so
said, what,
what?
yeah, what could have just happened is say, hey, little man, who are you out here with? Where are your parents? I don't think any of that conversation took place because had he say my
Right.
mom is right inside there, then mom could have come out this resolved. This all took place after the fact. It's
Right.
like the
Right.
young man, we talked about last week taking out the trash. Had you, a simple question is, because both the children, this one is 2 years younger. A simple question is, where are your parents?
Yeah.
Where are you coming from? Would have solved that altogether. So,
It's kind of
and of
wild.
course, now, mama gonna go get, they're gonna get sued. They're gonna get
Yeah.
sued, and
Yeah.
there we go. And I doubt that this little city county has the resources by any means. I think even the mayor of the county has spoke on it. I doubt they have the resources to be able to pay this lawsuit off now.
Boy, when I
That's
tell,
sure enough
yeah, I was about
coming.
to say, boy, when I tell you
Yep.
about to come up, boy, when I tell you about to
Yeah,
come up,
he'll be able to go to college. That's for sure. He'll be able to go to college.
woo, boy,
That's
couple little nice little smooth outfits. Oh, that boy gonna be in there this winter.
that's. Let's
They
hope it.
gonna go on a couple of cruises next summer. Go to a couple
I would
crab
think.
leg places.
Okay, stop, because we're suggesting that they wouldn't be fiscally responsible for those resources.
Hey,
I
baby, I'm
hope.
just keeping it a buck. Boy, when you
Okay.
come into some Monday, we act funny.
I hope that it would be responsible. Anyway, we'll kind of keep track of that and
Child,
see how that
please.
goes.
Okay. All right. You
We'll,
keep up on that. I
I'll
bet
keep
you.
up.
They gonna be making videos. They about to go, ooh, boy, this marketing strategy about to go global.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, because it's
Man,
just
y'all done messed around and y'all done messed around and called a lick, boy. They about to run this lick for a long time. Watch them
yeah,
milk this one.
yeah.
Y'all don't know what y'all did. This book, man.
So anyway, that's
If they
story number
thinking how
one.
I'm thinking, look, Marcus, Rami, they know how. Hey, I'm just giving y'all thoughts. East, this
But
is just
that's
quick off my
but
head.
right, but and it's unfortunate. So I would think that and would hope that it would be put together
Unfortunate for who?
resources.
Unfortunate for who?
It's
Man,
an unfortunate
please.
situation because
Hey,
okay, so
man. I bet
past the
you he ain't
point.
traumatized. He'll get over it real quick when Mama buy them new J's for
Okay.
the next couple of months. I bet you, my boy, he'll get over it real quick.
Shame, 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 shame. We gonna move on. We gonna move on.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah. Let's move on.
we'll keep track of what's going on in the little town of in Mississippi. Um,
Shonda, what up, sister?
so make sure I want. Is it Shakara Richardson? Is that how I pronounce her
Shakari
name?
Richardson.
Shakari
Shakari
Richardson.
Richardson.
She broke FloJo's. Is it world record?
American record.
American record. She broke
Correct.
FloJo's American record this week in track,
Yes.
and it
Yes.
is powerful. And this the support that people are now talking about, because she was the underdog, the last couple of years based upon personality and all that good stuff. If I'm not mistaken, there was it something about drugs, possibly marijuana or something a couple of years ago that kind of fell in
Right.
there, and
Right.
personality, looks, and all of that, diminishing completely her talent.
Right.
And I think we've talked before, or maybe we haven't, but people, she's a young woman, and they come with a different personality and different take on life and how they view and carry themselves, and that's all well and fine. And I think part of that then had people diminish her personality and where she came from and even her background and what she's been through to get there. And she showed out and showed everybody the across the world this week with her efforts in track and field. And I think you sent me a snippet where she was doing a press conference, and whoever was in reporter was just giving her props at where you've come from and what you've done. You just have absolutely, and God has his hand on her. And it was just powerful just to hear that, and just see her kind of come back from that. I think anyone else may have just sort of withered away with the amount. And I'm not necessarily into sports or track and field. I know a few people, but I just from just different things. But I know she's taken a lot of bad press, and I just think that it would have discouraged anyone else, and they would have just gone away. But she beat FloJo's record, and that's just awesome. And I just, I think that goes to someone was saying, you have to be careful when you're really downing the underdog. You really have to watch yourself
They
because she
love you when
just,
you on top.
yeah, yeah,
As
and
soon as you get beat, I
yeah,
told you.
yeah,
I told you.
and again, when we
How
don't
they cross you.
necessarily, when we don't fit the norm, as opposed to,
Yep.
we're not
Yep.
quiet in demeanor, whatever the case may be. And
Yep.
she does have a personality, and that's all well and fine. But she is gifted in her craft, and she showed out and
Absolutely.
showed up this week. So
Absolutely.
she's one of our in the news stories. And so,
Love a
yeah,
queen like that. Love to hear about it. I'm an extract athlete myself, so watching her watching her win the 100, it's commendable. Number one, from all the people that loved her when she was on top. I told you so when she lost. For her to have to be on her end, for her to be humbled the way that she had to be humbled,
yeah,
because you can get you out of the hood.
yeah,
Now the world sees me now. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So how that likeness changes for a minute,
yeah,
and people can take with it how they take with it, but then have to understand the longer road, the bigger picture. Like, I'm not gonna win every single race. Would
right,
love to, but
yeah,
that's track is difficult,
yeah,
and especially that event, you can't make a mistake. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You want to be flawless from beginning to end. So it's like knowing that everything worked and flowed properly for her to win, and for her to do it on the stage that she's doing. Next is the Olympics, and if she can do it in the Olympics in front of the world,
yeah,
it's really her world to speak
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and talk her talk. And you
yeah,
talk about a redemption. I think she'll handle that fame a little differently.
yeah. And again, for me, it's just knowing what she's been through in life and coming up, and those who have supported. Because, and we see other athletes who have had that type of adversity, who have not been able, to weather it. But she did, and even for me, at the end of the day, what's this mean? We in
Oh, I was just
church?
waiting
You
till you
there?
was done.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying
Um,
on after you were
yeah,
done.
I just, I got to give her that. And for that reporter in the press conference just to stop and give her her accolades. And you could tell it was a sister in the backdrop, just kind of giving
Absolutely.
her accolades. It just kind of quieted the whole room. But hats off to her.
There
And,
you go.
probably then whoever her support system is, her team that kept her going, because
Hmm.
sometimes, for many of us, if we're attached to someone who's got a lot of controversy in the backdrop, will tend to fall off. And so, obviously her trainer or whoever, that group of people still stood by her to watch her be able to do that. Hats off to them too, because we can get a little flaky sometimes. Like I
Facts.
said, when we're on top, we got it. We're big, and particularly when it gets controversial on certain things, we can, you'll find out who your friends are for real. That's like not having it when your car break down. You need a ride. You'll find out quickly who your friends are. So hats off to her
Woo.
on that one.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
then we're gonna get a little messy here, just a little messy. Halle Berry's
Ooh.
third divorce was finalized this week after 8 years, and she is having to pay Oliver Martinez $8,000 a month in child support. Stop it, Jamal. Along with also paying for his private school and extracurricular activities. This is the second partner she's had to pay a hefty amount of child support. I want to know who is her attorney. And I didn't know Hallie had it like that. She had money like that, because I'm like, that's That's
Y'all
and
remember
I know
Strictly
what's
Business?
fair. I know what's fair is fair. I'm not saying it, but and then they have joint custody. So if you have joint custody, why are you paying so much child support? Eight
Hey,
thousand dollars.
hold on. Do you remember that movie Strictly Business?
Strictly business. Who was in the movie?
She was the waitress, like the bottle girl, the
I
service
kind of
girl,
remember. Uh huh.
and the guy, he was like I think he was like a lawyer or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they met at this club, ended up getting real cool, and Tommy
Mm-hmm.
Davidson was his boy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's when I felt, boy, I thought Holly Berry was the baddest chick in the world back then. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, Halle had it. She was right back then. My generation, Halle had it
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then she fell off after what's that movie with Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah, the when she got the Oscar. I can't
Yeah,
think of the
yeah,
name of
yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, but
You didn't like the
she
movie?
done yeah, she kind of fell off after that. I really stopped. Then she had that movie where her son got kidnapped, and she was running through some town in a minivan after him at amusement park or something like that.
Yeah, I
And
think
these
she
dudes
directed.
came
That
and
was her.
snatched the kid out of their car.
Yeah, some
Nah, it
that was
was
her
whack.
directorial debut.
That's when I knew she was falling off. I was like, boy, she must be Hollywood's trashed in. Then she was getting her head knocked off. She remember she was a boxer in some other new movie. I was like, oh yeah, this girl drunk now. Yeah, you getting in boxing movies and
I
stuff
started
now.
to watch it. I
I think
saw a
that's
few
when you
scenes
falling
of
off
it,
at an older age. You're supposed to be young taking them shots, not old taking them.
but she doesn't. I mean, when you, I think she's 57. I just somebody said she maybe she shouldn't. Rami said she shouldn't hire that lawyer for the next one. I just one I didn't know she had that income like that. Although that's neither here
Yeah,
nor my
Monsters
business.
Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, Monsters Ball. But I'm just like, what is going on that you? That's what's going on that you keep. She hadn't lost custody, but you just joint shared where you oodles of money in child support to ex partners. I just and it took them 8 years to finalize that divorce. Plus, she has to pay him, I think, 4% of over for every $2 million that she makes. Now, I haven't seen him in a movie lately either, and I don't think that most folks necessarily. And I'm not, what's fair is fair, but I'm just like, are you
Pause.
serious?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't think he has to try to make another movie anytime soon, right? Because the little boy is 9 years old. So yeah, 4.3% of income over $2 million. So he
Hey,
probably just waiting.
congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah.
Know a lick when I
So
see one. She fell for it the first time. Didn't learn your lesson the first time, huh, baby? 57. I told you she was getting them punches to the head. Hey, hey,
I
hey,
just
man.
think I just think she's just a little messy,
Yeah, she's
because
for the streets.
from the
Let's just
streets.
keep it a buck. She's for the streets, man. She was with David Justice back in the day. Then she went to Wesley Snipes. I think she was with Kadeem
Wesley
Hardis.
Snipes doesn't date black girls. Was she
He
not?
did
She
back then.
biracial. Okay, for a
Yeah,
hot minute then I didn't know
for
that
a
because
hot, quick little minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wesley don't like us, but then she is biracial because Wesley don't care
yeah.
for us like that.
That was around White Men Can't Jump days.
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, yeah,
Wesley don't do us like that, so I didn't know that.
yeah.
But
Nah, yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. See,
interesting.
see, he did then. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I
because
know. Hey,
Wesley
man.
Marcus said he did then. Yeah, he don't
See,
do us. He said we a little bit too mouthy and all that. That's another. Yeah, something else. So
y'all don't
those
want to
are
do that one.
what? No, we don't. We're not gonna go there. We're not going to go there. We're not. Okay. So those are our three in the news. Shout out to Centobia, Mississippi, Shakara Richardson, and Halle Berry for getting that divorce finalized after 8 years. So hopefully she has learned and that's a done deal. But at her age, I don't think she's going to be having any more children anyway. So that's a wrap. Yes.
Yeah, congratulations, you played yourself. I
Yep.
wish I'd have known about her dumb butt, but oh well. I don't feel bad for
Jamal.
her.
Jamal.
What?
What she
I don't
don't
feel
like?
bad for the chick, man.
Okay.
Nah, man. You 57. You already got done the first time like that, and you don't see the second lick coming? Hey, man, what's the saying? Fool me once. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Fool me twice.
When you talk about licks, what's interesting is that the husband, this ex husband, and the first child's father got into a serious fight. The first child's father is a model. And they got into a serious brawl several years ago.
I
That
believe it about as much as the WWE or
jacked
F, whatever
him
they call
up.
it.
Jack, and so it's
Man,
okay. There's so
please.
much for my modeling career. They got into a serious brawl, and I said, "Then, guys, she a little messy," and they got to fighting, and then here we are now with this. But anyway, hopefully, you know,
Yeah, you can believe what you want to believe.
hopefully she'll work that out. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna move on. Let's
Holla
talk
back.
about. We're going to talk about. It's entitled etiquette, but I'm also kind of talking about home training. And we got it, Jamal. We got
Y'all
off into
buckle up
this.
tonight. She asked for this now.
I got the belt. No, you egged me on. So I think it was a couple of weeks ago or so. We were out, and we were. You know what? Don't make me. I almost said something crazy to you.
I didn't say a
And we
word.
were eating, and I was using my utensils. That is knife, fork, and spoon. Probably at a meal where most people wouldn't, right? I'm huge on table manners. Nephew decided to call me out on it and call me bougie, along with a few other things. And what I expressed to him is that I received home training as a child, and we used all of our utensils while eating,
Y'all
and
hear
I
this
still
now?
do.
This is how a conversation comes out of this about
This
etiquette, y'all. Remember this.
and
Carry on.
I still do. So I will admit, if I'm out eating wings, I will possibly cut the meat off the bone.
What?
If I'm
Hold on, hold
eating,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's keep it a buck. See how you said that? We black, y'all. Have you not? What black person have you ever seen eat chicken wings and don't pick up chicken?
I
Like
will on occasion, but if they're hot, I'll start off using my knife and
that has.
fork.
This is not even racist for me to say this. This is almost. I'm almost
Well, it
99% HIV positive that everybody feels this way. You could book this. Picking up wings, there's exceptions to the rule. That's anything. Y'all in the chat, please tell me I'm wrong.
you don't.
Carry on, Auntie.
When I eat my pizza, but while it's still hot, I will cut it with a knife and a fork, and
I
then
have
I'll
no problem with that.
pick the rest of it up.
I
I
understand it
still
if you
say
don't if you do that.
excuse me to people, please, and thank you, and all of those. You know what? The
Woo!
fact that I don't do warm and fuzzy with you, and the fact that I don't
Oh,
say please and
oh.
thank you, are two totally different issues. Two totally apples and oranges. You looking for
Y'all hear
warm and
this right?
fuzzy? It has nothing to do with home
You hear
training
this right?
and etiquette. But Jamal went on to say that etiquette didn't apply to all all people, that it was European. And I believe even our executive director, our artistic director said, no, that's not necessarily true. But it's called home training. Children are supposed to learn how to sit at a table and eat and conduct themselves at home. And what this initially started out to be was a conversation about home training and the lack thereof. But you took exception to my table manners, and I took exception to you talking about my table manners. But go ahead and say what you got to say.
I asked the chat. I would love for people who are listening to my voice right now to please tell me
And
how many of
and
you guys eat with a fork with your wings versus you actually picking the chicken wing up and eating it?
I
Just a
don't
raise of your
care.
hand.
And go ahead,
Thumbs
y'all
up
go
or
ahead and
thumbs
raise your
down.
hand.
Just want to know. I'm downward finger. Tell me if I'm wrong.
It's a
If
matter
you're
of
with me,
it's a matter of preference, and that's how I eat. But you took exception and then try to. And I know your mama taught you table manners and home training.
Shirley didn't teach me about no eating no chicken wings with no
I
fork.
you just took exception to maybe that's fine, but you took exception to my table
Shirley didn't
manners.
teach me
Period.
that.
Okay.
No, you're not gonna put that. Shirley here. Shirley in the building right now. Shout out to my mama. Shout out to old Shirley. You know what I'm saying? The big
We got a whole
H, big
studio
S,
audience up in my
the
sitting room.
OG. That's my
It's
OG. My mom, my
it's
twin. She in the
okay.
building right now.
Home training. So let's talk about home training. So where do you
Hey,
so
Mama Shirley.
home training? And that's kind
Yeah.
of where the conversation started off, was talking about home training. Then we got into manners and etiquette and those type of things. And so yes, I will often eat my food with my utensils. I know
I
it
love
seems
how she
strange to people.
chooses. Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's so I don't think it's right or wrong, but many of you, particularly you younger generation, you lack home training and manners and proper etiquette. So I didn't call no names out, and so then when you're out in it shows. And there was a
Yeah, you,
time when we were very much judged by our social etiquette and table manners and how we conducted ourselves. Marcus, what are you laughing? You agreeing? You not? Because I'm smiling faces. I'm not sure which direction you going, baby. Talk to me. So I think it's a lost art. Home training, table manners, etiquette. Some Marcus says some food not required. I know that, Marcus. However, there's it's still I still I put a napkin in my lap. That's something I do. It's like going to wash your hand. That's funny too. Is that funny? Do you put a
no,
napkin in
I'm
your
reading what
lap?
Marcus. No. I put what Marcus put. I mean,
Example: chicken wings, no utensils.
hey,
Marcus,
you know what I'm saying? Like
Marcus.
just certain things, and our culture. I'm just
When we and see we
I'm not going
so
with
that's
that.
such a general statement. Our culture.
If I'm lying, black people in here,
Oh, now we're
please,
gonna throw
of
the
my
race card. So
culture,
throw the race card
of
in there. Throw the race card in there.
it's me and you. So
Throw
there's no need
no,
to
but you're
deny the
throwing the race
race.
card in there because you tried to say that black. What? That etiquette was European. What?
Bougie has no color,
It doesn't.
but we're speaking of me and you. All I said was tell me,
And
okay, then any culture, right now that's in here, please answer. How do you eat chicken wings, with a utensil or with your hands?
do you say excuse me if you're walking in front of someone?
I do, yes.
That's just proper etiquette and home training. There you go. I'm sorry you take exception to my utensils and table manners. I'm because that's where this started out. And
I
you,
love how you keep advising this. I love that. This is so beautiful how you are.
also Marcus
This,
said
hey
he does
y'all,
put a. Thank you for putting a napkin in your lap, Marcus. Thank you
I'm
for that.
I'm not arguing
Mar,
with that.
okay,
I'm not arguing with that.
okay.
I'm not arguing. If you were to put
So
a napkin in your lap, I'm not arguing with that. I do that sometimes,
okay,
depending on what I have
okay.
on. Absolutely.
It doesn't
I
matter what you
understand
have
that.
on. You should always put a napkin in your lap.
Okay.
So, what type of food do you use? What type of food or meals do you have where you have to absolutely have your utensils or not?
I say anything that is like of a wet substance, just to make sure that like while I'm eating it, let's say barbecue, I don't want to get any sauce on, you know, a shirt I may have on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I put it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, definitely there.
Okay.
You don't want that
Marcus says, "I'll
stain all
open the
on you.
door." There you go, Marcus. Marcus says, I'll open the door no matter who's behind me. Because this is interesting because I saw something earlier this week where a young man, I was at something this afternoon and had to be husband and wife, an older couple. And the husband opened the door and he walked in, his wife. And you could see the look on her face as if to say, really? He didn't stop, but you could tell that's probably another podcast about them relationships and red flags. They old together now. He's like, whatever, Myrtle. Just I open the door. If you didn't walk first, whatever. But things like that, it's just it's lost. I get highly upset when somebody walks in front of me and doesn't say excuse me. How rude of you. When did that stop being okay to do?
But there's
I
nothing
don't
wrong
understand.
if you it's nothing wrong if you check them in a humble manner. You can still get your point across, but you can say it in a humble way. I use, for example, and Rami's in here because she was with me. We were at a bar. A guy nudged me in my back. We were back. Our backs were facing each other, and he elbowed me in my back. So I turned around politely, and I turned around. I said, "Just say excuse me next time, my man." And so he didn't say anything. So I said it again to him. Just excuse me next time, my man. And I, let him know. So his buddy turns around and goes, like, what? What happened? I said, say excuse me. I said, say excuse me next time, my man. I was like, nothing more. And he was like, oh, okay, okay. He didn't know. He didn't know. I was like, no, no, it's all good. Just letting him know. That's what happened. I didn't ask for any static, any problems, any issues or anything. Just letting him know, like, yo, I felt that.
So
And
he
that's in
didn't
a way
know.
to de-escalate the situation. I could have easily took it to the next level. Nah, no, no. And at the time when I was doing that, I was talking to a guy and just giving him, a little bit, hopefully some words of encouragement and some game. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Certain things you gotta pay attention to your surroundings. Number one. Number two, I'm the protector of Rami. So anything that go on when we're around each other, I got to make sure and take care of mine. Jamal, my brother, what's up, boy?
Jamal said, "Take it there."
Uh,
No, Jamal, we're not taking it there. But
I'm
I,
just saying,
okay.
like, you just
I'm
gotta, you
talking to
gotta, you
Jamal.
gotta do that.
Yeah. So I find it hard to believe he didn't know he didn't bump you. You can feel when you bumped into someone.
And you know what? He could have very well thought it was something. I'm not here. Just let you know that that's what happened.
Watch how you
I'm,
swing
I'm
your
literally letting you
elbows.
know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Watch it.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
yo, yo, my man. Because if you would have hit me again, now, okay, hey, hey, hey. Now I got to say it in a different tone. I'm still trying to de-escalate the situation, but okay, now don't be that dude tonight. Like I'm just trying to. You enjoy
Okay.
your night. I'm trying to enjoy mine. Like, but we
Okay.
not just going. Now
Okay.
I feel like you trying me in a way. So let
Okay.
me check the temperature. Now if you do it
So,
third, night night.
prime example, you and I, along with your wife and a few other members of our village, were out at an event this week. We had set in an area. I said to everyone, sort of leave your belongings so we could come back. However, that's neither here nor there because we had what what
Shout out to Libby. Love you, baby. I know you in the building right now. Agnes got graduate coming up 2024. You better hold it down for us and then some. I love you, baby. I'm proud of you. I don't care what anybody say. You hold it down. Remember the game. Don't respect nobody. I love you to death and I always give you the game. So it ain't got nothing for here for nothing to be discussed. You already know. Yeah, back to what you were saying.
shout out to her classmate Janice, who is in the audience with us
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
Janice
up
too.
in the sitting
Absolutely.
room.
Salute. Salute, Queen.
Absolutely,
Salute.
who will be walking with her
Absolutely.
as well. Thank you for
Love that
joining us.
generation.
So here's what happened. We were on campus celebrating at a celebration for my daughter, and we had sat down in a little lawn area, and we got up to join the parade so that we could see these young ladies walk through. When we got back, because all of us didn't leave our stuff, which is neither here nor there, other people sat down. We kind of got through that, and we were nice about it. Yeah, the man wanted to move my purse. He caught himself, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. So there were three individuals
I like how you slid that in there.
who then stood in front. It was a circle, and you know how you're sitting back, and so it's you're like at a concert, and so they stood in front of us, blocking the view of the guest speaker. How do you not know? You see all these people behind you that it's okay for you to stand in front of us. So karma is a bitch because the man who sat in the seat next to me, who should not have sat there when he knew we were already there, didn't get to see any of the guest speaker. He could hear, but he couldn't see her. So I kept trying to weave and bob in between these individuals. And I finally said, "Excuse me, sir," very nicely, "could you move so I could see?" He moved just a little
How'd you
bit, but
say it?
still moved back. So
How
I'm
did you
trying to
say it?
do
How did
this
you say it,
to
Auntie?
see. I said, "Excuse me, sir, but could you move?" Disrespectful and lack of home training. I could probably say some other things, but you look back and saw at least 10 other people behind you sitting. You know damn well we couldn't see through you. And stood there and acted like they didn't see us. Need to be so glad I know Jesus. Because I probably would have, that could have
Are you
rude and
sure that they were?
disrespectful.
I wasn't there from the beginning, so I wasn't there. I went back because I was meeting up with Rami, y'all. So I see Libby. Boom. Let me get this quick video. Shout out to Lib because the video is fire. Doing holla, it's doing numbers. But anyway, so like I got that video. I go get Rami. I come back. Now my chair. First of all, they gave us pom poms. I put pom poms in the chairs that was ours. So even if you, I don't care what you thought was in you. I felt like you could have checked them and said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 those chairs were taken. That's why the pom poms were there." Oh, you know what? Our apologies. We didn't know that's what it meant. They could have easily moved on about their business. No,
Number one, correct. And the only reason I got my seat back because I left my bag in the seat. But I'm telling you, he wanted to touch my purse, but he didn't. But you could see it. But go ahead. So we all get seated. But I'm talking about the three people who walked up.
we didn't get
Init-
seated. Our
okay.
chairs were gone because somebody didn't ask for our chairs that I picked out for all of us to sit in from the jump, but she didn't save chairs for us. Yeah, carry on.
Who didn't save chair? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
three people came up and just stood in front of all of us who were seated in the chairs. So even the gentleman who should not have sat in the chair that was reserved for you couldn't see the guest speaker. And all it took for you was to look back and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, am I blocking your view?" They could have moved off to the side. They stood there like they didn't see any of us, like you were the only people on campus. And still, when I asked this gentleman to move because I couldn't see, he tried to crouch down. I guess that didn't work, so he got back up. Absolutely, simply rude. So particularly rude. And it's things like that that cause sometimes choice words among people. Disrespectful. We're all there to see, and we were peaceful and all of that, but just outright rude. I almost wanted to push her over, but that's it would have been wrong, and I'd embarrass Libby and all of us. And so there we go. Because I already asked you to move once. I mean, look back. Do you see that none of us can see past you? As grandmama used to say, your daddy wasn't made of glass, therefore you not made of glass, therefore we cannot see through you.
There you go,
But it's just
thinking
a
for other people. Everybody ain't on that mannerism. I'm just honest. Everybody wasn't raised that way.
Jamal.
Everybody,
So you mean
you.
to tell
You can.
me what would it have taken for them to look back and realize they were standing in our way
There's
and we couldn't see?
at at the end of the day, you can never tell someone else on how they were raised. Right from wrong is it is what it is. It's all about having understanding of somebody else's upbringing for y'all to connect. That's
So
just how it is. That should be the goal. If you going into it, I feel like in that thought process, it's kind of slick judgy because it's like, hold on. What if he just legit, honestly didn't know? Some people don't pay attention to certain things that I see. So because
how did they
if
miss
you
all
look at
how
it, I'm not saying you're
okay,
wrong. Number one,
okay,
I'm not saying
okay.
that. If I didn't say that at the beginning, I apologize. I stand
I'm
corrected.
not,
Not a
yeah, I'm
I have
just,
no problem.
yeah.
Excuse me, but I'm just saying in general, you cannot honestly think that's like when we say common sense is not common. It's not because people and how they were raised is not the same. So it can't be common sense because what they think is common sense may not be common sense to you. But what I think is common sense may not be common sense to you in certain
S-
aspects. Just
So,
being honest.
okay, so let me state what I believe you just said. Common sense doesn't tell you, oh, let's look back and see if I'm blocking anyone else's view from seeing this.
I heard that, Auntie. We've all
Okay,
heard that. You just keep
okay.
repeating yourself. It doesn't change the nation of the
I'm
fact at
just
hand.
trying. Okay,
It don't change. You can't sit up here and say that about people and
okay.
expect them. That's the whole part of understanding.
Fine, fine.
It's
Yeah,
a different
and
outlet. That's just honest. You gotta, you
okay,
got. That's the part. That's the portion of opening up and seeing it from a different perspective. Because if we don't and we stay closed, I'm not saying you are, but if we don't and we stay in that mindset, where are we getting? You got to look at certain things in another aspect, in another perspective. Because if not, that's how generations move. That's how they constantly keep going in a different aspect. Your generation compared to my mom's generation, different. What they
okay,
think is common sense to them compared to you, now compared to me, now compared to Libby's generation, is totally different in certain aspects. Just being honest.
okay. They were rude, but okay,
I
they were
okay, I
rude.
agree with you. I agree. I totally agree with you. But you can address it in a proper manner. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I did address it in a proper manner, and then it didn't get resolved. I said, "Excuse
Oh,
me,
well then
sir,"
that
and I was,
hey,
yeah, you.
excuse
That's what
me.
I'm saying.
Could
I
you
said
guys
you.
move
I
over
did,
here to the left over here? Boom. That's it.
and I guess I
Fix
need to
it.
look. And when I said that, and he kind of looked back, I guess maybe he didn't look back enough to see, oh my gosh, we're standing in front of all these people who can't see. Baby, let's move over to the side. I guess I needed to have been that explicit to say, can y'all move all the way over? Because you're blocking all our view. But okay.
Remember there was a little saying that we had earlier when we was eating downstairs. Remember? And we was talking about some I forget the actual subject, but we was downstairs and something that we felt like it was common sense that we was talking about at the table. And I was like, "Woo!" It had to do with etiquette, and I was like,
When I
I
asked
wish
y'all,
I remembered."
when we all, I had to ask y'all to hold up so I could pray over my salad.
No, no. But what was
That
said?
part
I know
there.
we was talking about it at that time. Yeah, I remember we was talking about
Yeah.
it. But anyway, I hope somebody said something about it. Let's try.
Okay.
I tried a nice door. First thing I received no response. I get aggressive. Hey,
Well,
I tried a nice approach. Absolutely. I think I think Rami has taught me oftentimes that using my mind and not reacting off of other people. Remember, we control our own
we
energy.
correct,
You know
correct,
what I'm saying? So
correct.
getting all hot and bothered about something that truthfully, why am I getting mad behind it? Because I don't like that. There's no common sense to anything. I just don't like that. So, you know what? If I don't like that, let me say something, but let me be smart by what I'm saying about a situation
So it's
versus what we consider
almost,
common sense.
yeah. So it's
Let me
almost,
just be honest
and
with myself.
okay. So it's almost like we're excusing common sense. I get what you're saying. You control it, but and again, we're from two different generations, but it's almost like we're excusing common sense, and because common sense is not common, then some people are free to conduct themselves and act whatever, and then I'm supposed to understand that they don't have common sense and home training and courtesy, and that's why you can stand in front of me in this venue and completely like you don't see the other 10 people standing behind you. But I get it. I understand. I get what you're saying. I do. I get it, nephew. I get it. I get it. But let me try that. Let me try that. And there, no one is going, let me, I get it though. I understand. And I would not have
Let
wanted to have caused a scene. So back to the napkin, the fork, and the spoon. But I'm just, we were talking about just
Thank you,
basic home
Dominique.
training.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so thank you. You can't. This is so true. Like you have to men are so we're so logical about things. Like this is the part that I really feel like no, this is serious. Men are so logical in things that you guys think in feelings about stuff that y'all don't pay attention to stuff like this. Me and Rami just heard this video this morning. I promise you, this dude just spoke on this. This just spoke. This is crazy. This is happening. But this is all about feeling versus actual logic right here. Logically, you think that somebody else is supposed to think like you. It's not that way. You
I
just don't
expect for
like that. Does not mean that that is actual common thing that is taught in every community, in every household. You cannot think that way. That's just facts.
common sense or home training is not taught in every household.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's what we
There
consider
there
home
we go.
training is
Mhm.
different versions of home training. That's I'm just
Give me the
honest.
ver
It's different
Okay, what's the
versions.
okay.
Okay, hold on. Let's use a kid from the hood. Okay, mama walks in the house each and every day, cussing at him, telling him he just like his daddy, cussing him out about this and that, telling him all negative thoughts, and he ain't gonna be this, he ain't gonna be that. You're gonna be just like your daddy, ain't about nothing, yada yada yada. All the negatives he's been spewed at him his entire life.
Mhm.
So what does he pass down to the girl that he's trying to get with and everything like that? He's gonna do it one or two ways. You know what? I will never treat a woman like this to make her feel this way. I will never. And I'm going to show my mom there is positives in a woman that I could love in her, that I could see in her. Hopefully I can try and change it. Hopefully he could get the attention, have a man, some guidance, even if it's another female, some type of guidance to get him on the positive track. Because that can spin a guy spiral. And I just use that on a negative vibe. So to use it on a positive vibe and everything like that, people just I'm sorry, people just it's a lot more to it. You just have to
Okay.
simplify what you just don't like. That's cool. You just don't like that. But then you can't say that's common sense. Because that if it's common sense, we wouldn't even be arguing about it in your mind.
On that particular issue, what happened this week, I felt that was just it was common courtesy. Let's say common courtesy, but I guess if you don't have common sense, then common courtesy doesn't go along with that. I understand your analogy because obviously, and just in generalization, because I work in the school system now, and you watch certain things, so I get your point. Maybe so obviously, the things that I was taught, and again, and I think we laughed about this because that was one of the things we laughed about when we talked about the home training. I was raised by a great aunt who, when I came along, was, I think, easily 60 years older than me anyway. So we sat down at a table, we set the table, knife, fork, spoon, napkin, glass, and all of that, and we ate together and all that. And my great aunt taught us. We got good home training based upon what I perceived for then, and we knew how to conduct ourselves. And so it changes now. So to Dominique's report, I understand that you can't expect you because it was a different environment, a different day and time. I
Absolutely.
attempted to teach some of it to Libby, which is why now, even when we're out and I've met her manager and different people, they're always talking about, what a wonderful, respectful young woman she is. So apparently, to some degree, home training, as I see it at my age, is a lost art, and it doesn't
Let me go.
mean that it's common.
Let me use an example, and this is the actual fact, and and I hope she understands this situation. Uh, some years ago, it was Libby's birthday, and we go to Texas Roadhouse to have dinner. My mom, Rami, Libby, you,
Is that when
myself.
we dropped? Is that when me and Granny dropped the cake?
You might be telling on yourself or something. See, hey,
I think that might have been.
my hands is clean on that one. I don't know what you are talking about at all. Nope.
if that was that we
Hey,
did,
you just told on yourself if y'all ate some flat cake. I don't eat
we
cake, so I don't know what y'all ate. So
we
I don't
we
know.
didn't mean to, but I think it was raining when we got there and we dropped the cake. She was so mad at us.
I, hey, oh man,
Okay,
that
but go ahead. But I think that's when we dropped the cake.
she was more like I remember being there and I was around some at the time I felt like because I think George Floyd had just gotten killed. And
Yeah,
then it was
that was
like
that.
around
That
that
was that
election
time.
time and everything like that.
Yeah.
So everything tension was a little high. And I was getting fed all that how we should feel as black people and we're getting tired of how we're getting treated, that type of mess. So I'm in an environment and I got pissed and I let my emotions get the best of me at that time. And I'm talking like I got pissed. And I mean, it was horrible. It was so horrible that I knew I was wrong about it. That I had to check myself because I felt like if my dad and I've seen my dad do certain things at certain times and he was wrong about in front of me. And instead of him cleaning himself up to say, you know what, I apologize, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you why I was wrong. Let me go buy you something or let's do this or let's not even talk about it. It was getting swept under the rug. So I had to go in and talk with Libby. Went out in the front, sat down. And I had to legit apologize to her because I felt like, you know what? I don't want to pass this on down to her, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in
Mm-hmm.
my image, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want this to make you go like, well, dang, hold on. You know what I'm saying? I do make mistakes and I'm human. So you got to learn right then and
Yeah.
there to try
Yeah.
and break certain things that you're not trying to pass on because I could have
Yeah.
easily handled it this way. So it's like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Let me do it this way. Let me try it. Love you too, bro. Let me try and do it this way. Let me try and handle things in this app, in this magnitude to try and change the dynamic of stuff to let her know, hey, we do mess up. But a wise man can come back and apologize.
It's
A bigger
interesting
person,
you
I
say
should
that.
say.
It's interesting you say that. So two things. So, and this would be another podcast. I'm probably polite to a flaw, but there's reasons for that based upon how I was taught and to stay under the radar. And that's a different podcast as we talk about upbringing from that perspective. The other piece is, and I respect you for that. I recall the incident. My mother's sister, my aunt who is deceased, felt she never had to apologize to her children for some things because her dad said that, again, to your point, some things we pass down, I tell people we need to let go of. And I said to my aunt, maybe that's how your father felt, who was born in 1900. And, there was this code of where, we could speak to our kids any kind of way and we didn't have to necessarily respect them and we didn't have to apologize from that standpoint. Um, you know, so I recall the incident. The tensions were high. We from that standpoint, but kudos to you for apologizing to her because that's another some of those things where we feel like okay, I don't have to do that. I'm above doing so. No, we can all. stand to stop and apologize if need be. So kudos, for that. I think we did also apologize for dropping the cake. We were profusely, we laughed about it, but you, it was a beautiful little cute little cake, and we just threw it up. But
Lib, I didn't know nothing about
so,
that.
but what I say is that I can, as we're having this conversation, I can understand that perhaps some of my norms and sense of home training is different because I was taught by older people who not just lived through the civil rights, but again, I'm talking my great aunt was 69, 70 when I was 10 years old. So I think she was born in 1909 or something like that. So she lived through a different lifestyle. So the process was to be this very polite people to get through society, and so that was passed on to us. Whereas I think people feel now, I don't need to necessarily do all of that on some things, right? I'm still going to keep my table manners, but I know I can understand this to some degree. Some of my viewpoints as we're having this discussion may be antiquated or old school because I live, again, I'll be 60 in December, raised by a great
Woo!
aunt and uncle.
6-0. That's a
You know,
blessing. Shoot,
it
that's a
is.
that's a that's a big turn up. We gonna turn up. Hey, shout out to all y'all out here. Hey, the 60th. Hey, we might do a party. 60th, we might do a party, man.
I want to do a train ride, but let me go back here to this. Then my closest aunt, my dad's sister, we're 25 years apart from each other. And when I graduated from high school, I got a speech about always conduct yourself like a lady. Well, that was 1982. It's 40 something years ago. So the perception of what I got about acting like a young lady and this generation and those up under me, I get looks totally different. And so, you have to step back and go, okay, to me, that's not very ladylike. I think I said, I told Libby, she did something one time, and I said, that's not very ladylike. And she said, I am not a lady, I am a child. But I
Shout out
get
to
you
Libby.
this, literal.
Baby.
But what I was saying, but you know what, I get that, as things have changed, my viewpoint of what I believe is proper and mannerable and home training looks different now. But I do believe that it is a lost art and that we need to go back to getting some of that in the home. But to your point, little Ray Ray is not, he's not getting that because that's not, and it takes time to even do that. Little Ray Ray's not getting that because that's not the environment in which he's being brought up in. And so, yeah, it looks different,
How many
you know.
times? How many times? How many times? How many opportunities do you get to be a parent?
Well, I only got one because I only had one child.
My
Sometimes,
whole point.
some
For
people,
you. For
right, some
you. You
people,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah, some people,
It's your
I, I've,
journey.
I've talked to people who, when you have more than one child or you're doing it different in different lifestyles, you take a different approach. I have, it's not along the same subject, but I have gone home to Aunt Mary's house, and my cousin's children, who she raised, her grandkids. I'm like, Mary, they getting to go out and they didn't do no chores. I I could not in my day. You couldn't think about stepping foot close to the front door trying to go nowhere unless chores were done. I
Me
went
too.
home, I'm looking at dishes in the sink going, why has Tia not washing dishes before she leave up out of here? Who are you that? And Mary
Absolutely.
gave some excuse, and I'm like, wow. It changes.
Jamal
And,
know
and when
about
I
that.
tell you how strict my aunt was to me, and then her daughter in turn, and then I'm watching Tia walk out the house, and she got in a car with a friend whose dad came to pick them up. I was not allowed to ever get in a car with any man. I don't care if there was, you could not do that. I had to wait for my Aunt Mary or my uncle to pick me up, but I could not go off. That was not appropriate. A woman had to be with them, etc. I understand it's a different day and time now, and those type of norms or not, they're gone. I just, but
True.
I'm sorry. I'm shouting out to the 1973 home training, eating with the utensils and the napkin and setting the table. I'm so
I love
sorry.
how you threw all this family junk in here real quick and then go slide back on out and then try and end it with some food etiquette. No, 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 no. Not tonight.
I,
Yeah, no, 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 no. Hold on.
yeah,
Hold on.
I
Let's
just,
read this.
I feel
Hold
some
on.
things
Hold on.
are a,
No.
okay.
No. You've had your opportunity. Let's go off of this etiquette. Let's the dictionary, it's a noun. Etiquette. The customary code of a polite behavior in a society or amongst members of a particular profession or group. The
You looked that
customary
up,
code of a
huh?
polite behavior. Absolutely. I'm reading it.
You okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm reading it.
Okay.
The customary code of a polite behavior in a society or amongst members of the particular profession or group.
Okay. And your point is,
The rules of etiquette are changing.
yes, they have changed. They have changed. To me, they're gone. But okay.
Do you think, hold on, hold
But
on. You think in a slave's mindset compared to you, just imagine how much has changed from them to where you are and what they thought was common sense. I'm serious.
we're
Just,
not
I
talking
went
common. We're
that
talking
far.
home training and
Hold on,
etiquette.
hold on, hold on. You're even helping my point. Think about how they had to think about etiquette back then just to survive in families and households and
Oh,
stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. I got it. I no, I fully understand. Yeah, I get it.
So, what they thought was common sense then, they can't even fathom this. So, my point is, and this is just on what we consider, you and I, when we consider something to be a duh moment, let's not handle it in a duh moment because everybody's not, they weren't raised like me. It's just that's you just honestly have to open your mind and say that because then you will allow that to not bother
I,
you. I'm just being
I
honest,
okay.
and
So
I've really tried that. Just try it.
I understand that times and generations through has changed. I get it. I understand. I'm still going
I
to
agree
stick
with
to
you
yeah,
again. I agree with you,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I just have there is a way of speaking out, and there's don't be wrong, don't be or don't dare to just speak for yourself. That's a legit thought in a pattern of you know how you feel about that. You don't like it. And then let me address something that I don't like. Guess what? I've handled it this way.
Okay, I don't like
You
people
never
standing
know
in
unless you
front of me
try it.
blocking my view so I can't see. Dominique said, Auntie understands, but she ain't going for it.
She ain't. She ain't. And I'm fine
I'm
with that.
not.
That's
It's a
I just be
lost
trying to open your
art.
mind up to a no, it's not. You know why?
It
Okay. Let me
is.
now I'm about to
It
get you.
is.
Now I'm about to
It
get you.
okay.
Now I'm about
Prime
to get
example.
you.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'm
Go
about to bring
ahead.
a prime example.
Okay, so let me ask: is wearing a house coat inside, is that a lost art in front of mixed
Absolutely.
company? In front of mixed company, is that
Absolutely.
that's really
Absolutely. Because my wife
why
doesn't wear a house coat
with you?
without me.
Okay, because see, I was brought up,
My
particularly if
wife
you
will
got.
walk around in a big t-shirt, overdrawn t-shirt or whatever, and some leggings. Be comfortable as a mug. She don't walk
But
around
she's
in
but she's
nothing
covered.
wild.
But she's covered,
In
and
my
so
opinion,
okay,
absolutely.
okay. So that's one thing. But even
But you said
you
house
saying
coat. See my point? No, my wife does not dress that way. My mom doesn't dress that way around me. Unless
okay.
she's about to go somewhere, then she'll throw that house coat on and start letting her hair, start doing her hair.
So I am the dying breed of.
I'm just, you got a different, you had a different upbringing. It's cool. It's just how things are. Why can't you accept this?
I'm accepting it. I'm the dying breed of the house coat wearers. I just, particularly not by myself is one thing, but particularly in mixed company, I'm the dying breed of the house coat wearers. That's I just threw that one out there. House coats. But I understand different people. You know the big T-shirt. I'm just on the dying breed of the house coats. I get it.
Mm,
I don't even think. Well,
yeah.
they do sell house coats. I still wear a slip. I don't think you can. And I'm trying to think where I got that slip because I need a new one. But it's hard to go into a store anymore and find a slip. Do you know what a slip is? just, I'm just saying. You
Ooh,
know,
man, this is
I'm
too
like,
funny.
what? I stop laughing, Rami. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Libby owns a slip. I still have Libby's first little slip. I'm sure her and Denise right now they laughing because I'm sure neither one of them little heifers own a slip. I'm
Wait a minute.
positive they don't.
Wait, hold on. What did you? Hey, cool. See what I'm saying? Please, you pass it on this stuff to generations. Pass this on to
And
generations,
it's
boy.
okay.
It's gonna call my
I
my baby ain't no heifer,
Dennis said a
and
slip.
neither is Janice.
Yes, a slip. A slip. I if I'm putting y'all
There
don't
you
know what a
have it.
slip is? A underslip up under a dress, a underslip. There was a full slip and there was a half slip. And that's what so that you if particularly if your dress or skirt is thin, so you're not looking at my panties. It's a slip,
Hello,
it's an
Dominique.
underslip.
Dominique, this is common sense.
I didn't
Everybody
say it
should
was
know
common
that.
sense.
See, is
I didn't
it?
say it was
Yeah.
common sense. I just said that I still wear a slip and I need a new one and they're hard to find. That's all I said. Dennis have been calling Libby a little helper since she was. Okay, so I'm the
Y'all see
last
what
breed
we
of
have to
house
go
coat
through.
slip wearing aunties. Okay,
Mm.
I
Yeah,
get
y'all
it.
hearing it for yourself. See how I just walk right on into it.
I get it. Okay. He said I know what it is, but okay.
There you have
I
it.
just yeah, and I get it. It's just yeah, yeah. Because
Certain
even
ways
when
of how people were raised.
I never thought a house coat would go out of style, but okay. And again,
They
it's
don't do
difference
that no
depending
more.
on what you're comfortable with. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. How you
Okay.
were raised. If you felt like passing it on down to Libby, Libby would have took that with her.
So yeah, she hasn't commented, but I'm pretty sure Libby probably doesn't own a slip. But it's fine. I can't.
It's
Yeah.
all of what she want to do. It's all
Right.
of everything. See, this is the thing. Libby has her own journey. You have to trust and believe that whatever you
This is
taught her
not about a
gets her
journey. It's
through
about a
her
slip.
journey.
It's about a slip. A
Your common
underslip.
sense and your understanding is what I'm speaking on. Period.
It's
That's
about
what
a
I'm speaking
slip.
on. No,
It's
it's
about
about
a
what you
slip.
teach her and
Home
what you
training.
encourage her to know. That is not.
Proper
Oh my
utensils.
goodness.
Excuse me. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm going to step inside of you. I'm good. Okay. Okay. And I get that it's not common sense. I'm just throwing things out there. And yeah, evidently
Did
I'm the
you
last
did
of the
hold
house
on.
coat wearing, slip
Hold on.
wearing sisters. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you when what year did you stop Libby from when we were out eating that she cannot pick up a phone while we were at dinner? What year did you stop that?
Did I did I tell her to not pick up her phone while we were eating?
Hmm.
What does that have to?
I'm gonna use this for an example. The reason why I brought that up is because while Rami and I, what we was speaking on is like when we get with the kids or whatever, you're to put electronics down while we're having dinner, and that's how we have dinner at the house. so we can actually chill, converse, do whatever if need be with the kids and stuff like that. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
we do.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't look at that and call it common sense. It's how we want to pass on something
No, I'm
good
not trying
down.
to throw everything up under common sense. I think it's called that would be common courtesy. It's not common sense, it's common courtesy. Let's that's a house rule or a family rule for you, and it's common courtesy that we're all going to put down our electronics and we're going to interact with each
Okay.
other.
Okay. Common courtesy.
That's what I call,
I
not
would think that's
necessarily
just common
common
sense
sense.
when you get around
Common
people, but
no,
who am I to say
com,
it?
you said
At
it's
one
what?
time in my life. At one time in my life, I used to think that way.
It's common
What
sense to
difference
put
does it
down.
make if you put your phone down or not?
Okay.
But me, I'm open to it. It's like, oh, okay, you know what? Ain't no problem to that. I actually like the idea. All right, cool. What you going to talk about? I may have the conversation. I may not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's go with your etiquette though. Let's get with your etiquette
I
because
just because what? So I just think there's some things fall up under you read the definition. Can you look at the definition of home training? Dominique, not everyone would. I'm going to hit Dominique with the belt. I just feel like home training for, those things that we teach. I get on some of the little fellas, well, and again, okay, I won't go there.
home training, lacking home taught manners and social etiquette. Example, can't read that one. But yeah,
What you can't read.
I wasn't gonna read. I wasn't gonna read the example. Well, you know what? I'm gonna read it. Those assholes were yelling in the mall lack home training. That's what it says.
Okay.
But
So
anyway,
do
but
you
home training.
that's in the dictionary, that example?
Yeah, yeah, I can
Okay.
show you it.
That's okay. So yeah, that you know, put the phone down. Put the phone down. Put it down.
Y'all read that for yourselves.
That's a different example for sure.
Told you.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's home
So,
training for you. That's from the Urban Dictionary.
oh, you went to that's why they cussing in it because it's the Urban Dictionary. And
Hey, but that's
many
serious though. There's no real thing to home training than what I just read. Like
yes there
home training is
okay.
optional. Everybody has their
What?
version of home training. That is
and because
true.
it's and because it's optional, that's why the children are acting the way they are.
Absolutely.
It's
That's their
optional.
version of home training. There
Okay.
are some kids I grew up with that could cuss around their parents left and right. No
Who?
issue, no problem, no nothing. And my mom could tell you, my boy Jason Guyton used to be able would cuss left and right with his mama, with his pops when he was alive. Rest in peace, Mr. Joe. And all that. Yeah. Yep. I
Could you
used to go
cuss
there
around?
every day.
Could you cuss around your mama?
After I got to a certain age, I choose not to, out of respect to her.
So is that common sense or common courtesy?
It's home training. I'm serious. That's my home training. When you get
Oh,
around people, hey, watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? When you get around these people, don't make me out here looking crazy, like you ain't got no home training. Okay, I got you.
okay. All right. So you understand it. Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
That's a home training thing. But my boy Jason, he got around my friends, and Jason would be hanging around my mom and stuff. He didn't cuss around my mama. It's a different type of respect. That's a home training. But around his mama, oh man, he would cuss like a sailor. That's a
Right.
different
Cause
version of how he was raised. That's his home training.
Okay, I call it common sense that what I do around my mama don't mean I can do around somebody else's mama. That following the
Okay,
common
cool,
sense.
cool,
Okay. Okay. All
cool.
right.
I didn't cuss around my mama. I still try to not to this day. I don't just unless I'm reading something. I don't just be out here just willy nilly just flipping the mouth like I would just be with my boys or something. No, or with Rami. No,
Okay.
absolutely no.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a I feel like there's levels to the respect factor. You know what I'm saying? Where you feel more comfortable in how you converse with another person. You and I. You know what I'm saying? If people look at how I was raised and how they were raised, they would look at me and be like, "That's your auntie, and you talking like that to her?" Okay, when is this? When do y'all stop joking? Or is this like you could in there in certain people's eyes, it can be a thought that can come to their mindset. But then once you see the dynamic of you and I, then it's like that's just them. They really love each other.
Mm-hmm.
They trust
Yeah.
me. They
Right.
really
Right.
mess with you. That's
Mm-hmm.
just how we get through to
Mm-hmm.
each other. So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
say that's just not a. It's that's just once you get to levels of respect and y'all dynamic, you cool to bend your manners and your rules or your laws to certain people, certain
Well,
things, and what you train and pass on down.
so I'll throw this out here. Respect isn't common sense, and it varies. It
Absolutely not.
varies for people, and again, to me, that's another thing. But respect to me is part of home training. But to your point, if you're not getting taught in that manner, then yeah. So that's what that is. Yeah. So anywho, Dominic said, "Bro, every time you move to the left, you get a dent in your head because of your background." I
I
know,
need a
I
real
know.
green screen.
I
I
thought I was the
promise you, I
only
need
one.
a real green screen. I need a real green screen, man. Help this boy out. I need a
Dominic,
real green screen.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, shit, I don't want to say anything, but he might not want to use
It's
that
all
one
good.
again because every time that building in the background.
But you had to add
but
yours on, huh?
but
See? You just
no,
had to
hold
add yours
on.
on, huh?
But now I would have sent you a private message. Dominique decided that he would.
But you had to throw yours in at an hour and 20 minutes. Now all of a sudden you will get yours off with. Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
You might have to get the belt for all y'all.
So listen, guys. Um, Again, just one of those conversations, home training and etiquette. So, this is my comment here, and I know that I'm older than probably most of the people on the phone. And I think kind of what works with this is that we're coming from two different generations. I still think there's a healthy level of what should be respect for other people, regardless of how. Um, I am an advocate of what I call good home training. I'm a product of that. I realize that it looks different from everyone. I don't have a problem being laughed at about my fork and knife, eating the chicken wings and the pizza. It generated a different conversation that we were having, and just in a lot of different things that we see come up. Again, I work in the school system. Now in my second career, somebody still on a slip.
Like perfect timing right there. Shout out to my sister. Wow.
Underslip, a underslip. There was a full slip and a half slip. I need to. It's yeah. Anyway, she just. Um, I get that sense is not common. Um, and then
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
look,
See?
and I'm trying to figure out is she
This
who
is
she calling
training.
a half of for
This is
one
home.
thing. So I'm like, but she said, oh,
See? Look, this
she
is home training
she getting
now.
ready to get the belt. Um, I just
Oh,
it's
but
just
you can call my
interesting.
baby a heifer. Mm-mm. No, I'm not gonna let that. Nope. Nope. Nope.
all day long for the
I
last
got my
27
baby back.
years.
I
Whatever.
got yup.
Whatever. Um, but it was just a conversation on the difference in, again, to your point, generations and
Absolutely.
common sense isn't common. And my version of what I believe is common sense and common courtesy and respect is one thing. I came from a different generation. I was raised by a great aunt and uncle, so they had a totally different set of values for how we were to conduct ourselves. My one aunt was 11 years older than I. My other is 25 years older. So just, different conversation. Dennis asked me if I still wear knee highs too. First of all, that's a personal question, but I happen not to wear panties.
Wait. Time out. You're not gonna say it's personal after saying you called out a slip. There's no way you can tell me that it gets personal. You could have
Dennis,
just left that to the imagination
Dennis,
of us
I
men,
do not
and you
wear
should have
knee
never even brought
highs.
this to the table.
I do
Now
not
you
wear
all of a
knee
sudden
highs.
want to talk
Okay,
about
if you'll
something. This is
hush,
personal.
if you'll hush,
No,
I'll
we not
answer
let
that
this go.
question. Dennis, I
Absolutely
do
not.
not own a pair of knee highs. I do not even wear pantyhose any longer. I was so glad when that got relaxed. No, but I will wear a slip, and
Oh,
depending
now
on
they
what
got
I'm wearing,
relaxed.
and depending on what I'm wearing, I will put on a nice
Ooh, I
undergarment up
love how
under
you
so I'm not
manipulate the
jiggling all over
boy.
the place. But no, I don't wear knee highs, and so he gonna come back with some knee highs. Do they even still sell knee highs? Cause that's about gone away with the slip. It's not that doggone funny,
Oh
Jamal.
man. Man, this
No,
is
I
this is.
don't.
We need a part two of this because
I
there's this
don't.
is no way
I'm
I'm letting you
done.
get away with this. No,
I've
no.
said what
Part
I've
two is
had
next
to
week.
say. I've
I
said what
have
I've had
not.
to say.
I haven't. So you can see and listen to me next year, next week. Tune into part two. I
I have
promise you.
not. I have not.
Yeah, she.
But you know
Mm-mm.
what, Dennis? Do you go out in public in a wife beater? Shoulder pads and a
I do.
dress.
I definitely do. Sure do.
I don't. They don't.
Got one
Dominique. They
on
don't
right
make any
now.
shoulder pads and the dresses anymore. So no, I don't have any of those either.
I wear my white beater right now. Boom. On me right now. Wear every day. Sure do.
Okay. So I just,
And the funny
it's
thing
just
about it, shout out to A Gwynny. That's my mama's generation.
shoulder pads.
To this day.
I haven't seen Granny in any shoulder pads. She got shoulder pads.
No. That's that's my wife's other her the Watson side of the family.
Okay.
That's them. And
Okay.
and Gwenny, which is my other mother in law. She's the stepmother in law. So
Okay.
she still wears her shoulder pads right there. See, look,
So
Robbie. They
so
her and Shonda, they know about it. I'm talking about they stepmama.
we're shoulder pads.
She's
But if
man, she showed her to the thing on we had a cookout. And she had on some shoulder pads on that day. I mean, she gonna walk out there ready to take. She ready to play center at any time. She go through like a linebacker. She ready to hit you. Shout out to Aunt Gwen. Love my Aunt Gwen.
okay. So Dennis says he does wear a wife beater out in public. I would not go anywhere with a man with a wife beater on.
You do when you go outside with me. Yeah. Cause I wear a
Have you
white
gone
beater.
somewhere with?
You talking about just in general, like just that's the shirt for the day?
Correct.
Okay. Nah, yeah, okay. I'm with you on that. Now that you've never
Yeah.
seen me do. But
Yeah.
I thought you
That's
meant like because he wears one. I'm
no,
like,
no. I
I don't
meant I
get it.
meant how the young men wear them out.
Now
Just
I get what you're
yes,
saying. Now
yes.
I get what you're
That.
saying. Okay. Now
Yeah.
yeah, now that
That's
I
what I'm
think
talking
that's
about.
okay. Yeah, you have a standard. You have your standard of what you like. And you
Correct.
don't want to date that standard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or
That's it.
go out with anyone looking like that. But okay. So yeah. So
However you want to dress up the
obviously
word. It's
What?
just it is what it is. I said, however you want to dress up the word, it is what it is. You don't want it to be a little hood because you don't see nobody walking in your suburbs, like that. So
With wife beaters on?
nah, not like that.
Okay.
Mm, nah,
All
not
right.
real ones.
So that was we obviously we there's varying opinions on what we describe as home training and etiquette. Maybe
Part two
there's
next week.
their culture. What we gonna talk about next week? We didn't what
You talked about your portion. I get to talk about mine. Said that already. Thank you very much. This was a good. This is a good starter. This
mm-hmm.
is part one, and I'm gonna put part two of the
Okay.
etiquette.
I'm gonna let you
Just like
carry
how we did
part.
the relationship. I would
Right.
love to carry part. Yes. Let
Okay, I'm gonna let you carry part two because I obviously it's whatever it is, it's burning a little hole in your britches trying to talk about it. So
absolutely.
okay,
Absolutely. It's like when people eat that hot sauce, they know they're gonna pay for it at the end of the night.
okay, with that dent in your head, but okay, all right,
That's
family,
cool.
we
Shot the
yeah,
shot is still fire though. Shot by me.
it's a beautiful shot. It's just that however you post in there, it's just you got a small dent in your head,
That's
like you
cool.
had,
That's
like
cool.
you were in a bad accident or something, and part of your skull was removed.
See how
But
she roasted
it's
me?
it's a beautiful shot
This
though.
is
We
our
just
community.
this
That this is
okay.
common sense in our community to roast each other because that's a term of endearment. Am I right or wrong? You don't hear white people roasting each other. Not like this. They probably roast each other, but they it's a difference in like roasting each other and you know I burn your house down stuff. That type of stuff. Like, or I'll
Oh, see,
shoot
I'm
you.
not okay. I'm not
You
talking
know
when
how
you're
they
talking
talk
about burning
crazy.
down my residence and shooting me. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for being with us. I think, is this podcast number 6?
I think so.
Thereabout?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
podcast.
I'm gonna
Please,
start putting the
please, please.
episode numbers from here on.
Yep, that'd be great. Please, please, if you have not subscribed, what is so funny?
I'm just laughing at you. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh yeah, we're still on etiquette next week, people. Absolutely.
Pl- okay, well, yeah.
I'm
Please,
leading the show.
what? That's fine.
You already said
Because,
that. That's all. We're just repeating what you said.
okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
But I'm going to come have my comments, so it's not like I'm going to sit in silence and
Absolutely. I would love for you to.
humdiddly.
I want you to pay attention to the beginnings of. I want you to rewatch this show a couple of times. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
Like, yes,
Absolutely, please, y'all.
please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please go out and like our social media pages, Get the Belt, our Facebook page, and our Instagram. Please leave your comments. Again, if you'd like to email us with any topics or subjects, just getthebelt23 at gmail.com. Again, I would love to have another belt to wear, so you can feel free to mail that to us, and I'll be
Please
glad to
hook us
give
up.
you
Send it
a
to the
shout
PO
out
box, y'all.
and
My
all
auntie
that
want
good stuff.
a new belt. She wanna see some new stuff, y'all. Help her out. Let's see if we can start something new. Let's see if who
Yeah,
can change the game. Let's do
yeah.
something different,
So
y'all.
I
Dare
do
to be
appreciate
different.
that.
We doing to be different.
Please put a napkin in your lap when you're eating this week.
Please just do it. There's nothing wrong with it.
And if someone
If
is
you don't
standing
do
in
it, it's
front of
cool
you,
too.
wear your
And
house
stay
coats.
closed. If they want that greasy, yeah. Where do they sell house coats at? Walmart?
The department stores.
Department stores.
The department
Do you know
stores.
how
Any
old that
department store.
word sounds?
Yes. What do you,
You
I'm
know how
sorry.
old that word sounds? You go down to the
What should I
department
say?
store.
What's the new word? What's the 2023 word? What's the
You just
2023
say whatever
word?
store you say. You go to Target. You want to ride
That's
to Target with me? You want to go to
that's a
Walmart?
department store.
But you, the way you say, do you want to go to the department? Like you going to Macy's, right? You going to Macy's. You ain't going to. Hey, you going to the department store with me? That sounds so old. Like, some people get what I'm saying. They understand me. They feel me. See, look, Walmart. See, you just say where you going. Department store. That just got a different generation. I just say that word.
Well, again, we're from two different generations.
Thank
Family, family.
you, Cindy. Even Dennis guy would be like, I'm going down to
So
the
so
market.
so Dennis, the next time I
Get the
see you,
newspaper.
you were going to get hit with the belt. You were quite fresh this weekend, this evening, but okay,
Fresh.
fine. Yes, quite fresh.
Oh, but this can't get no
Guys,
better. The jokes just write themselves, y'all.
we love you. We thank you. Go out and support us. You will see us next
Absolutely.
Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Where obviously next week we're going to be discussing etiquette, home training, common sense, common courtesy, part two. However, that's going to look. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Love y'all. Love
Bye,
y'all too.
nephew. Bye.